So it's all really just a shift in mindset. It's ways of looking at things just a bit differently. And again, it's not like we have to be rocket scientists or have like sort of masters or doctoral degrees in this. It's really mimicking nature and learning from nature. One of the principles I'm trying to adopt, and it's so awesome to see that it's the exact same mindset that Jason's adopted, which is that, don't think you're smarter than nature. Like if you're struggling to figure out what to do, you just default back to like, what would nature do? What seems natural? What Jason's done here is he said, okay, we need to be clearing some of the forest. They had a lot of bramble and other weeds and things that were making certain areas unproductive, and I guess to a degree almost sick, or the natural environment wasn't operating at its optimal. And so he got budget to effectively clear the forest. Now there's a couple of ways that you could obviously attack that problem and address the issue. And I mean, the most obvious is you bring in the label, you bring in the chemicals, you clear the forest. But he didn't want his budget to be eaten away on that. He was kind of thinking, well, how can I utilize nature and animals? Pigs are phenomenal at doing that. And as Joel Salatin always says, like, let's celebrate the pigness of the pig and let them do what they do best. They're geared for it. They are the best machines with their snouts and their tusks of boring through, excuse the pun, but that's why you got wild boars, boring through a forest and clearing it and returning it to its kind of more natural and optimal state. And he spent the budget rather on fencing to keep the pigs where and obviously purchasing the animals and giving them what they needed to be happy and to thrive. And in a very short space of time, he's cleared the forest and opened up areas to the extent that water that wasn't flowing is now flowing. I mean, that's phenomenal. We all know the seriousness of our water crisis, and that people say the next world war is going to be fought over water, and thereby just following a natural pattern and letting nature do what it does best, water has returned. So, like the initial intent was to solve a problem in a sort of micro way. So it's like, I have an issue in the forest, let me go solve that. But the byproduct is that he's also solving a water problem. And under sort of emphasized element of regenerative agriculture, obviously it's all about building soil. That's the fundamental principle. But the byproduct of that, and I think that sort of almost underlying that and what it does at a more sort of fundamental level, is that it's about water restoration. So as much as we're producing a higher level of soil and more biomass, the effect of that is that it holds more water. It becomes a sponge and it holds more water. But what I've learned on this trip, and what Jason's shown me in a couple of instances, one being where the pigs are going in and they're clearing the forest, suddenly there's more streams. Streams are literally popping up, and now there's water available. And that came from nowhere. The brambles and the alien invasive species were sucking up all that excess water, and now it's available water, and plus the forest is cleared, etc. The pigs are in there eating acorns and natural diet, and now he's got the best pork, I would say, in the country. So it's like just like a exponential multiplier effect to everything he's doing. But on the waterfront, the other thing they're doing here is that they're clearing alien invasives. They've actually built in an internal team that is solely focused on removing alien invasive trees. And on the mountain at the back here, you can actually see the border lines of the farm, only because, not because of fire breaks or anything, but purely because it is clear. It's clear of alien invasives. Those trees now being extracted provides so much byproduct. So they're chipping that wood, and they're utilizing that for mulch and all sorts of other things productively on the farm. In fact, at one point they've got an off-grid sustainable place that you can stay. I mean, it's phenomenal, it's beautiful. I'll probably never afford to be able to stay there. But they're using a lot of the chipping to wood furnace and naturally heat the accommodation. But then there's mulch and everything. But the biggest benefit and win is that the mountain is now cleared, streams are popping up, fountains are coming up, water is flowing down the mountain, and they're capturing that water and utilizing it on the farm. So water is so precious, but it's often not sort of highlighted how regenerative agriculture in a very powerful way, is helping us solve the water crisis. Yeah? How are you, big girl? How's it? How's it? You're quite
They're wonderful creatures. They're extremely intelligent. It amazes me how smart these things are. And to think that, they probably have the worst life in the factory farming industry.
Yeah.